you are a first time viewer, welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and to those of you who have booked a personal reading with me, please keep in mind that these are general messages, so do not take them personally. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find the information in the description box below. So let's get into the message. What message do you have for the collective at this time? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is that I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good, for the highest good of humanity with harm to none. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? What messages do you have for the collective at this time? Okay, so you got purpose, balance, patience, and adversity at the bottom of the deck. Now, definitely check out the last reading if you have not done so already. It's the reading that I posted right before this one. Let me see what it's called. It's called Grounded in the Abundance of Your Desires, right? There definitely might be a message in there for you because balance, patience, and adversity came out in that same reading. And balance and patience are in the same position, but adversity was right here where purpose is. Now, you guys just saw me shuffle the deck, so this might be like a continuation of what that energy was saying, right? So again, there's definitely the energy here of you finding balance within your daily schedule, right? You finding balance within your daily habits, you finding balance within the way you speak to yourself on a daily basis, right? Because you are moving into a position where you're trying to do things with more intention, right? You're moving with more purpose. You're doing things with a reasoning behind it, right? Not just taking impulsive steps, not just making impulsive decisions, right? But doing things with a purpose, right? Cause and effect, right? But also giving yourself grace in understanding the lesson behind doing things with intention, right? Because you have a deeper sense of understanding that when you kind of move impulsively, or when you do things without a specific reasoning, or when you kind of put effort towards something without a whole lot of thought, right, it causes blockages, right? It causes challenges. It creates a sense of, again, adversity is the word I'm going to use because that's what's on the card here. It creates a sense of adversity within maybe your mindset, maybe within your confidence, maybe within the element in which you, or the desire in which you're trying to accomplish or trying to achieve, right? So again, kind of taking steps without actually having an intention or reason or plan or having thought out the process causes some sort of conflict. For example, right, say that you are looking for a new job, right? You're very unhappy with the position that you're currently in. So you decide to apply for a new job. But instead of putting intention or completely going through the thought process of why you're unhappy, what part of that job is the least favorable aspect, right? What part of that job makes you feel so displeased, right? You will go and apply for another job and you end up right back in the same situation, right? So that causes a sense of conflict because you didn't really think about what kind of job would make you happy. You didn't really move with the purpose of trying to fulfill a desire. Instead, you were just trying to get out of a specific place. So again, that's just an example. The message is going to resonate for each of you differently, right? But basically moving with intention will help things to just go a lot smoother, right? Thinking things through will help you to prevent a lot of blockages that you're trying to overcome, right? If you are moving with a well thought out plan, that kind of gives you the space to kind of perceive the flow and the effort of how things are going to move forward, right? So let's pull some tarot to see what messages come out. Clarify purpose. There's definitely the energy here of you finding balance within the energy of like spontaneity as well, like trying to find a balance between being spontaneous and moving with pure intention, because yeah. Also giving yourself the grace and allowing something to show you the purpose that it has in your life, right? Allowing yourself to see the full vision of why something has occurred in the first place, right? Why something has taken place, why certain things have happened, why you have ended up in certain positions, why you may have experienced certain challenges, right? Instead of automatically responding with the trauma response, it's almost as if you're being more mindful in trying to discern, right? We just saw the King of Swords trying to discern why something has occurred, why something is presenting itself at a specific time, why it's like divine timing is what I'm hearing, right? Divine timing, that's what I keep hearing, divine timing. Clarify purpose. The Nine of Wands and the Knight of Wands. This is what I was feeling, that impulsive energy, right? Doing things without thought. But again, so moving, give me something on this night. Look, the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. So definitely a stubborn energy, right? It's almost as if maybe the intention behind a specific decision was due to the fact that you were trying to protect yourself from something, trying to protect yourself from fleeting emotions, trying to protect yourself from it's almost like I'm seeing like a flame like go out very quickly, right? Maybe you were trying to protect yourself from a quick flame, something that didn't necessarily have. Give me something on this Nine of Wands. The Strength card. And the Knight of Wands. Yeah. The Queen of Pentacles. With the Eight of Pentacles, right? So Okay, so this could also be you kind of like moving with the intention of trying to change a specific habit, trying to persevere through the energy of, again, moving forward without a pure intention, right? The Knight of Wands kind of makes impulsive decisions. He doesn't really do things um, with a well thought out plan. He's like an impulsive actor, right? Somebody who kind of I don't really know how to explain it. It just kind of acts off the impulse of passion, right? They move off, move forward with, or they just kind of do things from a place of desire, or not even like a spiritual desire, but more of like a physical desire, where it's not necessarily fulfilling, but it kind of like feeds a craving, right? So definitely working or putting effort towards kind of putting that energy to rest, because I saw the Death card here, right? And the Emperor card is somebody who has a lot of self-control. There's somebody who moves with intention. There's somebody who has very high standards. They have very intellectual, very very well thought out, right? So the Emperor, so the overall energy being the Emperor here, it says that you're like trying to overcome this specific energy. Look with the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck, because you have a higher sense of knowing, right, of what it is that you're supposed to be doing, right? You have a deeper connection to what your purpose is in this reality, what moving with intention, with fulfilling a bigger desire outside of the craving that you're just trying to feed, right? So there's definitely like a deeper sense of knowing when it comes to what the true purpose is versus what, again, what craving you're just trying to feel within a less purposeful manner, right? So again, the energy here is definitely talking about overcoming some sense of strength, right? Overcoming a sense of boundaries that you have kind of set for yourself in order to protect yourself from something that you may have had to overcome in the past. The Nine of Wands talks about like the wounded warrior, right? Somebody who perseveres. They're very determined. They don't necessarily let things from their past kind of block them from their future, but they also set up very healthy boundaries, right? Sometimes, let's see, what is the energy surrounding these boundaries regarding the Nine of Wands? The King of Wands, the Ten of Swords, right? Trying to protect yourself from some sense of betrayal, right? Trying to prevent yourself from reliving something that you have had to overcome in the past, right? It's exactly what I just said. Trying to not go back to a place where you feel as if you had to overcome, right? Again, a sense of betrayal, feeling like a sense of mistrust, right? So again, you felt like you had to protect yourself from something occurring repeatedly, right? For a cycle to repeat itself. But what was it that you felt betrayed by? Like what cycle did you feel was going to repeat itself? The Fool card, a new beginning, taking a risk. The Knight of Cups, falling in love. It's almost as if trying to protect yourself, because the Emperor can sometimes be very cold, right? The King of Sword aspect of the Emperor can sometimes be very cold, be very detached, right? More mental than emotional, not necessarily connected to their emotion, like having a sense of emotional intelligence, but not necessarily connecting to the aspect of the emotions, right? So somebody who tries to rationalize their feelings, right? And that's just not something that you can do, right? Your emotions are one thing and your thoughts are a separate entity, right? You think your thoughts and you feel your emotions, right? Your thoughts are electric and your emotions are magnetic, right? They're two different opposing frequencies. So you can't feel your thoughts and you can't think your emotions, right? You have to feel your emotions and you have to think your thoughts, right? But again, this is somebody who was trying to prevent themselves from being in a space of, I guess, falling hopelessly for something, right? Being the one to, the Knight of Cups is someone who's very charming. It's like Prince Charming is the Knight of Cups energy, right? So if this is a love situation for you, again, it's not going to be a love situation for everybody, but the Knight of Cups gives like emotion. So it could be like maybe you felt, if this is a career aspect for you, maybe you felt as if you were pouring more, pouring so much of your passion into your 9 to 5 that you didn't have enough to pour into the things that you truly feel passionate about, right? If this was a home, maybe you felt as if you were working so much that you didn't feel as if you had enough time to care for the home in which you did, right? So again, you were trying to protect yourself from repeating a cycle. If this is a love situation for you, you didn't want to be the only one to fall in love in a situation where you were left betrayed, right? Because the Fool and the Hermit and the Empress, right? So again, there's a spiritual connection here. The Emperor and the Empress, that's a divine match. How can I put this into words? It's almost as, again, you didn't want to take the risk of giving more of yourself than you felt that you were going to receive. You didn't want to take the risk of jumping into a situation without having the full scope of understanding, without really having a knowing of a sense of direction, the intention behind something, maybe the sense of direction that something was going. But spiritually, you felt guided to take a leap of faith towards this, right? Spiritually, you felt inclined to take this risk. Spiritually, there was a deeper sense of knowing or a higher sense of enlightenment that was giving you intuitive nudges that this was the direction that you were supposed to take, right? This is something that you are supposed to take a risk on and invest in, right? But again, it almost seems as if you were trying to protect yourself from maybe falling too quickly, maybe jumping into a situation too quickly, maybe not completely having a full understanding of how to give to something, of how to pour into something, of how to care and love or romance something is the word that I heard. I'm not sure. I don't know if this is going to be a love reading for some of you because the word romance kind of was loud. Okay, let's clarify balance. But again, there's definitely the energy here of you moving with more intention, you gaining a deeper sense of understanding of why you're being called to invest in something, why you're being called to give to something, and maybe gaining a deeper sense of understanding of how to give to something, of how to show a more vulnerable side of yourself, right? It's almost as if you are gaining a sense of confidence, right? Now you have this boost of courage, right? Something has happened where it is almost as if now, with the 9 of Wands and the Strength and the Knight of Cups, it's almost as if now you have a reason to persevere. Now you have a reason to kind of forge this path and to show another level of vulnerability or a deeper sense of openness, or I don't want to say to wear your heart on your sleeve, but that's what I heard. So to express a deeper feeling of something, to express a deeper heartfelt desire within a specific situation. I hope this is making sense. Clarify balance. But with the 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, something is definitely moving forward. Look, the Judgment card, purpose. There's a higher purpose. There's a deeper sense of intention here, right? This is a, like, a spiritual purpose, right? A divine purpose, right? We saw the emperor and the empress, right? So there is whatever this is for you, however this is resonating. There, look, the temperance card, balance, patience, alchemy, bringing something to a state of peace, bringing something to a state of balance, being more in touch with your emotions, being more willing and able to kind of see things from a more grounded perspective, right? Not feeling so anxious, but also giving yourself that level of grace to be able to feel yourself, right? Feel your emotions, feel your feelings, right? Bringing things into a sense of alignment. For the temperance card to clarify the balance, with the judgment card at the bottom of the deck, there is definitely whatever this is, there's a very high spiritual element to it, right? This isn't just about the physical essence of something. This isn't just like a worldly desire. This is something that has a spiritual purpose, right? You're being divinely guided to pour into something. You're being divinely guided because there's a spiritual element to it. So usually with the judgment and the temperance card, how can I put this into words? Because see, the sun is coming up, so you're being made aware of the purpose of something, of maybe how to give to something, right? Because she's like pouring the cup, right? And he's offering the cup. So you're receiving some type of guidance of how to give to something, of why to give to something, of the purpose behind something, right? Because in the last reading, again, it was like the 10 of Pentacles. So it's not just about you. It's not just about what you feel. It's not just about what you can receive. But there's a big element of creation, right? There's a big element of like touching many lives with whatever this is, right? So again, it's not just about you, but it's what is going to come of this situation. It's what is going to come out, like what is going to be birthed. All of the things that, whatever this is, it's going to create something that is beyond you, right? It's going to be something that it's God guiding you towards your divine purpose, right? Your true purpose in life, right? This message is not going to be for everybody. If you are following along, then this message is for you. But if you don't understand, then this message is probably not for you, right? Because there's definitely a high level like spiritual element to this where you have to really be like in tune spiritually in order to like know what it is for you, right? You have to know. Clarify balance. The World card. And this came out in the last one, right? Yeah, because you don't necessarily have a physical viewpoint of how this is going to shift your life, how this is going to change, right? With the temperance in the world, there's so many major arcana here that this is definitely a divinely guided, right? The hand of God is all over this message. There is, again, an anointing over whatever this creation is. This is God putting two things together, right? Merging two things, right? Pouring, how can I put this into words? It's like, there's a shaping here, a molding, right? I don't want to say a quickening, but that's the word that I heard. It's almost as if like something, God is preparing you. He's pouring something into you. He's giving you information. He's giving you insight to your mindset. He's giving you insight to your emotions. He's giving you insight into your physical reality. He's giving you insight into how whatever this is going to help shift your life in a major way, right? It's going to like bless you abundantly. With the temperance in the world, there's going to be so much peace, so much harmony. It's like serendipity, right? Things just like happen. It's just like you're always at the right place at the right time. It's kind of what it feels like, right? You just always happen to be in the right place at the right time to receive a divine gift, right? And this, again, whatever this is that is being alchemized at this time, that could be the gift. Whatever this, again, it can be an idea. It can be a career, a position within your career. It can be a skill that you're learning. It can be a romantic relationship. It can be a relationship with a friend or a family member, right? But whatever this is being alchemized because there's two things here, right? Because it's the temperance and the balance. So there's two aspects to something. There's two sides of something. There's two viewpoints. There's two people. There's two, whatever it is, there's two of it, right? It's balance. And both things are being shaped and molded to kind of fit or to kind of receive this sense of enlightenment, to receive this sense of knowing, right? Because this is giving me like the sun is really standing out. So it's giving like enlightenment. It's giving warmth. The sun is the happiest card of the deck. So God is like with the sunflowers here is he's shaping something so that it has the ability to grow, right? It has the ability to feed one another, right? In order to bring this shift, this into whatever this reality is. I'm not going to go too deep into it because again, the details are going to resonate for each of you differently. But I do kind of want more understanding. Let's clarify this temperance. What is this that's being out? Like, what is it that's being shaped? Ooh, yeah. So where did that card go? Because the ten of swords was just here. This is the everything is fine. Where did that card go? Look, the death card is right back out. Remember I mentioned the death card earlier? I saw it and it came out. And the 10 of swords was, oh, it's here. It's here. Right? There's two. There's a sense of betrayal. There's a sense of understanding, right? So something is ending so that a new beginning can take place, right? Something had to, it's almost as if you're being brought to a place where you are being called to acknowledge the truth of a situation, right? If something is causing you pain, speak on it. If something is causing you a sense of hurt or if something is triggering you, you're being called to acknowledge it. Maybe you don't have to verbalize it to like outwardly, but there's definitely a sense of like acknowledgement within yourself, if not someone else, right? Or another entity, because something is being shifted, something is being changed, something is being reborn, right? With the everything is fine here, and the 10 of swords, it's like 10s represent endings and beginnings, right? Death and rebirth, right? Give me one more card for the temperance. The 6 of Pentacles, balance, effort, equal give and take. With the Empress back at the bottom of the deck, the message is so clear. It's how you show up. It's how you present yourself. It's how you definitely being called to be more in touch with the part of you that you try to hide. Be more or acknowledge the part of you that you may feel like is still causing you a bit of pain. That way you have the ability to kind of feed it. You have the ability to nurture whatever this is, right? You have the ability to kind of nurse this back to health, right? So that like you can't, it's almost as if you can't heal a sickness if you don't acknowledge that it exists, right? If you have the common cold and you don't take medicine to treat the symptoms, and it's just going to get worse. It's going to turn to something else, right? Again, like the flu. Maybe you have the flu and you don't you don't try to heal the root of the problem, then it might turn into pneumonia, right? So again, this is definitely the energy here of you acknowledging something so that you have the ability to nurse it back to health. You have the ability to fix what is wrong instead of hiding from it, right? It's like an equal give and take. You can't pretend something doesn't exist. You can't ignore something and expect it to feed you, right? You can't, like, how do I put it into words? Like, if you want something to nourish you, if you want something to offer you the value that you feel that you deserve, then you have to acknowledge the fact that whatever it is worthy of offering it to you, right? I hope that makes sense. Again, this message is not going to resonate for everybody. If you know, you know, right? Clarify patience. The Page of Pentacles. Yeah. It's something that you're learning. It's something that you are, this is a skill. So again, you're in like this is like the beginning phases of learning how to forgive something, learning how to have grace, learning how to let go of something, learning a new, so again, this is like, maybe you're learning how to acknowledge your pain. Maybe you're learning how to acknowledge what it is that has hurt you. Maybe you're learning how to nurse these aspects of yourself back to health, right? Instead of pretending that they don't exist. One more card for patience. With the Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles, right? Right. So that you have the ability to work in tandem with what, it's almost as if you're learning how to work with something and not against it, right? You're learning how to be a team instead of working as two independent parts, right? Again, so maybe your mind and your emotions, I'll use that example again. You're learning how to use those two energies in tandem instead of thinking strategically with all the while cutting off your emotions, or being overly emotional all the while not thinking rationally, right? So again, there's an energy here of you learning how to balance the efforts of your emotions, learning how to create a flow state within how you leverage a certain currency, right? Because currency doesn't like to be restricted, right? It likes to have a specific flow, right? It likes to be free flowing, like water. Water likes to be free flowing, right? When it becomes when water becomes restricted and rigid, it breeds bacteria, right? It breeds negative things, right? You can't drink still water, right? Still water has parasites, it has bad bacteria, it has viruses, things that you don't want to consume. But free flowing water, flowing water from a fresh spring or a fresh river, you can drink that because it's pure, because it's constantly moving, right? So this is definitely the energy here of you, again, learning how to work in tandem with something, learning how to create a free flowing currency, right? Learning how to maybe be free flowing with your emotions, learning how to be more free flowing with your intentions, well thought out plans, right? And again, with the adversity, because by not acknowledging what it is that you're restricting, it creates that resistance, right? It creates a blockage, right? That blockage is that Nine of Wands, right? So again, whatever this is, you're definitely learning how to offer a more nurturing sense of abundance, right? The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who offers from a place of grace, somebody who offers from a place of resilience, somebody who offers just off the strength of wanting to nurture, to love, and to be loved, right? Not expecting to receive something, but giving because you know that the more that you give, the more that you receive, right? So definitely learning how to, and again, this isn't specifically about one thing, right? So again, maybe sharing your thoughts, maybe sharing your emotions, maybe sharing like your finances, maybe sharing your peace, maybe sharing your sense of motivation or your sense of inspiration, right? There's an element of like feeding the community, feeding. So again, learning how to have more grace with yourself, learning how to how can I put this into words? How I'm like sensing it. Because it's almost as if like the Queen of Pentacles is like the mothering energy, right? With the bunny here, it speaks to fertility, right? And abundance of something, right? Bunnies are very fertile. They have like many babies at one time, right? They're very, very fertile. Bunnies represent abundance, right? So again, learning how to, maybe you're learning how to have an abundance of patience. Maybe you're learning how to have an abundance of grace within yourself. Maybe you're learning how to share that sense of abundance with those around you. Maybe you're learning how to share your peace. Maybe you're learning how to share the things that have hurt you, that you have tried to hide, right? With the Ten of Swords and everything is fine. Maybe you're learning how to give or to share your story or to share the things that you have had to overcome without expecting to receive some sort of judgment, right? So again, you're learning how to work in tandem with something. How this is going to show up for you is going to resonate for you differently, right? This is not a personal reading. This is a general message. So that is what I'm receiving, right? You're definitely in the energy of, but that's kind of what it's giving, right? Learning how to share your story without expecting to receive judgment from it. I heard that twice. All right, so let's pull 4 cards. 1 card for what we can learn as the major lesson of this message. 1 card for what we can create regarding this message. 1 card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. And 1 card for what we can innovate as we continue to increase our growth and expansion within our daily habits regarding this message, right? So again, definitely check out that last message. There may be a message in there for you. This feels like a part 2 to that message. This definitely feels like a continuation, especially with the same cards coming out. This is definitely like a repeat. This feels like a learning stage. Where you're being made aware of something, right? The pages represent like children, so it's the beginning stages of something, right? It's the early stages of something. So maybe this is the early stages of a skill that you're learning. Maybe this is the early stages of a position that you're finding yourself in. Maybe this is the early stages of a connection that you're investing in. But the Page of Pentacles also speaks to learning how to invest. So again, maybe you can be learning how to invest in something so that you can receive everything that it has to offer, right? Learning how to tap into something so that you can reach its full potential, right? Access its full potential for everything that it has to offer. But in order to, again, tap into that abundance, you have to access that level within yourself, right? That's how you align yourself with it, right? The 3 of Pentacles, the partnership, the alignment, right? This can be, it's also like you creating something, right? 3 of Pentacles is like creation energy, but it also speaks to partnerships. It speaks to teammates, right? So again, this can be you and God coming up with a new idea, or the mind, the body, and the spirit coming into alignment, right? But whatever it is, there is an energy of like partnership to create the energy of flow state, right? Because things don't come into a flow state until they reach the third step, right? You can't create a flow step. You can't create a flow state with one item. And with two items, it's juggling, right? But when you have three items, it creates a consistent flow, right? So there's definitely the energy here of you learning how to tap into something in order to access the free-flowing currency of something. One card for what we can learn. One card for what we can learn. My nose is itching so bad, and that's how I know this message is like okay. Miracles with joy at the bottom of the deck, right? So learning how to enjoy the truth of something, right? That's again a continuation of the last message. Not expecting the other shoe to drop, right? Because it is possible to reach a point in life where you just experience pure joy, right? You just experience pure peace. You experience pure happiness. You experience pure love, right? Unconditional love, right? So again, that is a Page of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and Three of Pentacles. That is kind of what unconditional love feels like, right? Pure intention, pure emotions, and pure purpose, right? Coming into alignment with those things, right? When your mind, your body, and your spirit are all in alignment with something, again, it creates that flow state. It's easier to create from a flow state, right? It's easier for things to move when there is no sense of restriction, when you're not holding something back, when you're not resisting. It's easier for things to flow, which makes it easier for things to be created. It makes it easier for you to receive. It makes it easier for something to be birthed without creating that sense of resistance, right? So again, it's easier for you to acknowledge your emotions when you're not overthinking them, right? It's easier for you to think rationally when you're not overly emotional, right? One card for what we can create. Good juju with speak up. And look, 3-3 and 7. 7 is the number of creation, right? So definitely be honest about what it is that you truly desire, right? This is throat chakra energy, right? What is it that you wish to create? You see the free-flowing river here and the abundance that's in that boat in the river, right? Be honest about what it is that you wish to create. Don't be so afraid and don't be so resistant to what it is that you desire, right? Because when you create that resistance, you take out the purity of something, which taints whatever it is that you're trying to bring to life, right? But when you do so with a pure heart, a pure mind, a pure spirit, a pure body, it fertilizes healthy fruit, right? But again, if you hold back, if you imagine eating an apple from a sick tree, right? Then you get sick. Instead of feeding the soil in order to nurse the tree back to health so that it bears healthy apples, so that when you eat it, you get the necessary nutrients that you are supposed to receive from that. I hope that's making sense. That's how it presented itself to me. One card for what we can meditate on as the major focus. Harvest, and self-sabotage. The 9 of Wands, y'all. It never gets old. I've been doing tarot for quite a while now, and it never gets old. The self-sabotage is like 9 of Wands. Don't meditate on how you can be resisting the things that you want to receive, right? How are you creating a blockage within the things that you wish to receive a fruit from, right? How are you like cutting off what it is that you're trying to create, right? There is something that you're creating a blockage in. Oh my God. There's definitely something that you are just be mindful. Focus on how to step into a more free flowing energy. Focus on the areas in which you are not being as intentional. Focus on the areas in which you are not being honest with yourself emotionally, physically, spiritually, right? Like meditate on the abundance that you are trying to create, and also focus on how you can step out of this self-sabotage energy. Think about the ways in which you are creating problems for yourself. How are you restricting things from existing in this flow state, right? And one card for what we can innovate. One card for what we can innovate. This is such a beautiful energy. It definitely doesn't feel as free as the last energy, but this is because it's more focused on you acknowledging the aspects that you're resisting, right? Look, Oshun, fearless love, storms, and feeling safe, right? So definitely stepping into that, creating new ways to create a flow state within your daily habits, creating new ways to create a flow state within having pure intentions within what it is that you're trying to create. How can you align yourself to the true aspect of your desires? How can you align yourself to nurture what it is that you are trying to connect to, that you're trying to create a partnership with again, right? How can you create that sense of safety and security so that you feel connected to that source of unconditional love? How can you, again, create that sense of safety and security within being honest with yourself and speaking freely about the areas in which you need improvement, in which the areas in which you need to better align yourself with, in the areas in which maybe you need to disconnect yourself from certain things that you are aligned to, right? Again, it's going to resonate for each of you differently. Some of you may need to align yourself with certain aspects, and some of you may need to disalign yourself with certain things, right? So again, either way, either side of the coin, you're going to need to let go of something in order to gain something, right? That's the Six of Pentacles, equal give and take. In order to receive what it is that you feel that you deserve, you're going to have to let go of the things that are not worthy of the things that you feel that are valuable to you, right? But that is the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated. If you made it to the end of this video, I know that you have found something in it that is worthy and valuable to you. Please hit that like button if it resonated with you. Have a good one. Bye.